Hey everyone, I am livecamant coming at you tonight with a kind of cool and interesting video that might appeal to some people and might not. It's a very rare camera. This is coming out of the Middle East. It is near Dubai. Now, if any of you have ever tried to find live cams coming from the Middle East, they are very few and far between. Similar can be said about China. However, if you look up there or over there or wherever that link shows up, I'm really going to have to figure that out someday. I do have my very own live stream running 24 hours a day in China, right outside my window. It's very, very interesting. It highlights a very fast-moving construction site and my neighborhood where I live. And like I said, it's very, very difficult to find live cams in China as it is in the Middle East. And this camera is no exception. Now, before we take a closer look, do a guy a favor. The channel is growing, and thank you so much everybody for helping it to grow. And the way you can help it out even more is if you haven't hit that subscribe button, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please go do so now. It really, really does help the YouTube algorithm to find these videos and to share them with more people. I would really, really appreciate it. And heck, there's a PayPal link down there too. I'm a one-man show. I do all of this all by myself. So if you wanted to buy me a cup of coffee, that's the place you do it. Now, let's get on to the video. Now, this camera is very nice quality. Once again, on Invidion. So I'm thinking that most of the cameras on Invidion were actually purchased from Invidion and then hosted on their service. Invidion has thousands and thousands and thousands of cameras, a vast majority of them being located in Russia because that's where the company is, and a substantial amount of those being pizza joints called Dodo Pizza. Why Dodo Pizza has so many cameras, I don't know, but if you ever want to watch people making pizzas, that's your jam. Now, there we go, we're back. Now, this camera is kind of special to me. I, in my younger days, worked in a warehouse very similar to this. Now, this particular warehouse is dealing with auto parts. Now, if we go back here, this is EMEXauto, and it does have a link to the company. I did look it up, and they are a Middle Eastern auto parts distributor. So you're going to see forklifts moving around pallets and boxes of big stuff. You're going to see bits, bumpers, doors, and all manner of things. But the really, really interesting thing about this particular cam is I've never come to this cam and seen it dark. This has got to be a 24-hour-a-day operation. Now, right now it is 7:23 in Dubai, but I've come to this site at 3 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock local time, 5 o'clock in the morning, noon, 5 p.m., now 7 p.m., and 7:23 in fact, and they're still working. There's actually more people working now than there were earlier today. We've got people working at each of these stations here where they're obviously packaging up goods for particular orders. I used to be a forklift operator. I actually, say what you will about working in the physical trades, I love operating heavy equipment, forklifts, backhoes, front end loaders, packers, you name it. I have driven almost every type of industrial machine that you can, and I really, really enjoyed it. To me, it was like a big video game where you had to win, because if you didn't, you're gonna put holes in walls or damage very expensive products, things like that. So it was both interesting and fun to me. So I do enjoy watching the forklifts go around and do their bit. This is a very, very well run warehouse. You never see the guys doing pallet jack races. Not that I would have ever done that. If you don't know what a pallet jack race is, you've obviously never worked in a warehouse before, but it's fun. You could break your leg doing it, but it's fun. But yeah, this is just, it looks a very, very busy place. Like I said, these guys have all got their stations here. And essentially, from my own personal experience, I can kind of pick out what's going on. So these guys, I've done this job. These guys are the packers and the quality control. right? So they are the ones who are responsible for making sure that they have all the parts they need for the order, double checking that everything is actually there because you don't want to piss your customers off, packaging it up securely for shipping, labeling the boxes, safely packaging them, and then this guy will take them to the trucks to go where they need to go. It's a very important job. I did this for the oil field in northern Alberta, and it was go, go, go all the time. This is auto parts. I mean, I'm sure it's very, very important to their customers and the people that rely on those parts. But when it comes to the oil field, them not getting a box of washers could cost millions of dollars in lost revenue due to having to shut down the pipeline. So you couldn't mess up. It was incredibly important. So these guys, they're tasked with the tough job, believe it or not. Now these guys over here with the shopping carts and the other bigger carts, these are the runners, right? So these guys on their computer, they're going to get a part list, they're going to print it off, and they're going to hand it to one of these guys. And I've done this job before too. It is also very hard physically because you've got to go out amongst all these shelves, and as you can see, some of the shelves are incredibly high. And you've got to go find those parts, put them into your cart, put them into your boxes or into your shopping carts. They are using shopping carts here, and make sure you correctly get all the right parts, and then bring them back to these guys so that they can package them up and double check that everything's okay. And these guys here in the orange shirts, these are the ones that are going to yell at you and tell you you're a jerk if you bring them the wrong parts. Right? Bottom line. So yeah, this is a very, very tight operation here. Lots of people working right now. I noticed when I was watching at 5 a.m. one day, and even 3 a.m. That's a pallet jack, by the way, in case you were wondering. Think about skateboard and kicking. You'll see what I mean. Maybe I can find a clip to show you what pallet jack racing is. But it's a nice, quick-moving organization here, though they're not running. They're not going out of their way to get the orders out in a haphazard and dangerous way, which is good, and that's important too. Unfortunately, when in working in the warehouse for the oil field, we did not often have the option to take our time and just carefully look for everything. So we had to go. That truck or trailer or 2 or 3 had to go out that night, period. The drivers would come to pick up those trailers whether we had completely filled them with everything they needed or not. It was, like I said, life or death, because shutting down the pipeline because we missed parts or because we didn't have the orders picked was not an option. It was brutal. Sometimes we would work 4 or 5 hours overtime, sweating our balls off as we just ran back and forth like chickens with their heads cut off, but it had to be done. These guys seem a little more relaxed, but again, it's auto parts, right? So if the dealership missed out on a certain part for one of their orders and they had to tell the customer, okay, we're not going to have your car fixed today, you'll have to come back tomorrow, the customer might be pissed, but it's not going to cost the dealership millions of dollars. So this wouldn't be a bad place to work from the looks of it. It doesn't look like too much heavy lifting, and they do have the facilities to, the equipment to do so. They've got these bigger carts for picking up larger orders. They've got the pallet jacks. They've got the forklift. They've got, like I said, over here, these are all shopping carts over here, which is really, really cool. Why not? They're fantastic for order picking. If you're not picking up big stuff, the shopping carts are great. Easier to maneuver around than these things, right? Everybody knows how to operate a shopping cart. I mean, if you've ever been shopping before, you know how it works. So once again, this is a funky little cam coming out of the Middle East, out of Dubai. And as much as a warehouse might not be your cup of tea, maybe you like street view cams, maybe you like beach cams, who knows, maybe you like this. I enjoy this. I find this relaxing. Putting on some relaxing music and watching these guys zip around doing their jobs, it's nostalgia to me. So I enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you did, you know what I'm gonna say, hit that thumbs up button. throw me a subscribe. I really appreciate it. We've got 65 subscribers now, and the number is growing way faster than I expected. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you in the next video.